Hello, everybody. I am very happy to be here. Actually, I'm excited, and in the same time, I'm super nervous. So please bear with me that today actually is the first time that I'm going to present in front of so many people. Sorry. It's very important for me that at the end of the speech in the networking event, I would like that you give me some feedback on how I can make this talk more effective. For me, it's very important because this is actually the first time that I'm going to present this in front of so many people, and it's important to get some feedback to tell me what I can make in the end to make my talk like more effective so that my message reaches you. And this is actually the way that I named the presentation. It's not your typical product talk. Why? Well, actually, today I'm not going to talk about any product skill that like a product person may have, like any product discovery or product metrics that can have, or anything about product related on the hard skills. But today I'm going to talk about the human skills, like Simon Sinek likes to call them, so soft skills. And in particular, today I'm going to talk about the communication and collaboration in the product teams. I'm going to share with you my experience as a product person, as a product owner, as a product manager, actually also a product lead now, and I want to share my learnings. My vision is that at the end of this talk, you understand the challenges that product teams can have in collaboration and communication, how you can experiment and iterate with your teams, and then how to continuous learning, to never stop learning, because in the end, it's what makes us better. Before going ahead with my talk, I want to do a small exercise, and I will need your help. I would like to understand and to know how many of you or who of you is a product person. And by product person, I mean product owner, product manager, or a product lead. Please raise your hand. Okay, good. Then who of you is working with the product person on a daily basis? Oof, okay. And then who wishes and aspires to be a product person? Nobody. Okay, good to know. Actually, the way that I structured this presentation is quite simple. I am a curious person, and like any curious person, I ask a lot of questions. This makes me good at being a product manager because I ask a lot of questions to understand the problems, to understand the why and the emotions of the people, the problems that they have. But at the same time, this makes me also annoying, and I'm sure that some managers of mine will say that I ask too many questions sometimes. But never mind. I will go ahead with my first question. And the first question that I have today is, when we are product people, does it mean that we are alone? I'm going to share with you the way that I started as a product person in the previous company. About 5 years ago, they hired me as a junior product owner. And the fact was that in that moment, they were also like building their company and changing their strategy and building product teams. So more or less, they had a lot of new people. And I entered the company and I had nobody to guide me in the role. So I was a junior in a product role and I had no guidance. And this made me feel very alone. I was not having anyone who to learn from. And at the same time, I had no idea what I was doing. So I don't know if this happens to you, but I had no idea what I was doing. So one thing that I did at the beginning was actually to ask the team. I was every day with them in close contact every day, and I was asking them, how do you think I can help you? How can we make the things faster, more efficient? I was like having a lot of relationship with them. And another thing that I was trying to do in order to learn and know what I was doing in the end was to go to different meetings and to see what were the others doing. Because I was like, okay, let's see how the other product owners will tackle such a situation, or how would they speak, what they know about the stakeholders, so that this is easier for me. But for me, it was very hard to do all of this. It was a hard beginning. I felt alone. And another thing that struck me was the fact that the manager was saying to me that, well, when you are in this kind of role and when you get at some point in a management position, you will be alone. You'll be by yourself. You'll have nobody there to help you. And actually, I was intrigued. I was like, no, this cannot be like that. I was like, I'm not going to follow this path and feel alone. And that's why my recommendation for you, if you have this feeling as of today, independent on the role, you don't have to be a product person, you can be in any role. If you have this feeling that you are alone, the first step that I consider that you should do is to consider yourself as part of the team. As I was saying, normally I think that we can hear a lot here that the product person and the team, right, is not the team where the product person is considered part of the team. We always say the product and the development team. I think that the product people should consider themselves to be part of the team. They shouldn't be like the other part. And this is the very first step, actually, to be able to help the team to build an amazing product, because I strongly believe that strong and empowered teams are the ones that are able to build amazing products. And then the second thing that I really recommend, and this is my favorite because this is my experience now in SEAT Code, is to be part of the product community, but not only the product community, because you are less people here that there are product. You can be part of the community in the company. You can have the front-end community, the back-end, the design community, to be part of this community, because in the end, for me, what it gave me a lot of opportunity to learn and feel safe. Whenever I was going to this kind of meetings with them, because we have a regular meeting every 2 weeks, I would feel like, oh, finally, I am understanding some struggles that the others have, and I have it. I can share their struggle. I can learn from the others. And important for me at that moment was the fact that I would understand the context of our company through the community. Because in the end, the community gave me a lot of information on how the company works. Not all the companies work in the same way. So each company has its context. And with this community, you can understand actually which are the particularities of the stakeholders or of the management. And these things actually help us to be better at communicating and collaborating. And then the last thing that I have here in my list is search for the product community or any community outside of the company. Why I recommend this? Because actually, as I was saying, when you are part of your community inside the company, you can be biased. You can learn a lot of things, but you can be also biased. You don't know what happens outside the world. So if you are part of a community outside of the company, it's going to give you a lot of tools and the opportunity to learn, to see how the others are tackling certain problems and bring them with you and try to implement this kind of change in your company. So actually, these are the steps that I consider that are very important in order to not have this feeling of being alone in your role. Now, I have my next question. I have another doubt. I said that I'm talking about communication and collaboration, but which are the challenges that we are facing in collaborating as product people and product teams actually all together? In 6 months, more or less, I started to be a product lead and I started to work with different product teams. And while working with them, I saw a lot of challenges, and I actually could identify a couple of them that are like common. And these are the common challenges that I think that is affecting a lot our communication and collaboration in any team. So the first one that I have here, and when I mean team, sometime I can, because to make a bit of an explanation, I can mean a product team, but there could be the management team, there could be the designers team, there could be a cross team, any kind of team that you have in your company. I think that they can find this kind of common challenges. So one of them, and the first one, is the lack of agreements on how to work together as a team. I believe that it's very important to give the context and to have the context on how do we work together. Because in the moment that we don't have some agreements on how we work together, we are simply going to go different directions. So, and then at the same time, we are going to have different expectations. So when we don't have a common ground and some agreements on how we work together, if I have some expectation and someone from the team doesn't deliver, I'm going to get frustrated. And maybe my motivation will lower. So these kind of agreements can be any type of agreement on how we perform the dailies, how we are keeping ourselves united and creating team buildings, how we are performing the code reviews, how we are doing the definition, what it means definition of done or definition of ready to each of us. These things are like agreements that we can all settle between us on how do we want to work together. Another challenge that I have identified is the misalignment between the product person and the team leader. As I was saying, we speak a lot about these two parts. And I strongly believe that with the moment that we have here a problem between the product, which is the problem space, identifies the problem, identifies what the user needs, and there is a misalignment with the person that is the team leader of the, let's say, the technical part or the delivery, or this is going to affect the way that the product will be developed. In the end, we have to have like a very common ground and the communication to flow between these two parties in order to be able to build in the end the product that the users need. The third example that I have here of the challenges, and this is one that I think it's like very common, it's lack of open and constant feedback. I really believe that we don't know how to give feedback. We were not taught in school. The education didn't provide us tools to know how to give feedback. In our families, I don't know about you, but I don't receive constructive feedback. I'm told, oh, Lidia, you never arrive on time. Never, really. You will give me the reason to be defensive and to react. This is not effective feedback. And this happens a lot in the teams as well. The moment that there is a lack of open and constant feedback, the communication and the collaboration, of course, will be affected. And lastly, and this is the basic thing, that if you don't have trust in the team, you don't feel safe to give lack of open and constant feedback. You will have misalignments with the persons because you cannot align. You will have a lack of agreement. So the lack of trust and to speak, I don't know how to do this, I need help. All of these things, when they don't happen inside the team, actually is going to affect the way that we are collaborating and communicating. And this affects the quality of the product that we are going to deliver in the end to our customers. So now the question is going back to the office going to solve our problems? Absolutely not. In the end, the idea is that it's all about, it's all about effective collaboration. And you'll be like, oh, I hope I didn't come here to listen to that. But yes, it's all about effective collaboration, because we have to know how to collaborate and to communicate. What we are missing are the tools. So my question, what happened here? Sorry, damn it. My question is, how to tackle the challenges in working remotely as product teams? What can we do? And I'm here today to give you practical tools that you will be able to use tomorrow with your teams. Today, if you want, but I think it's a bit early. We go to have pizza afterwards. So my proposal for you here is to experiment and to iterate together with the team these exercises that I have here for you. The first one, it's my absolute favorite, and I'm very passionate about it, and it's the team cultural map. This is an exercise based on a book that Erin Meyer wrote. She wrote this book, it's called The Culture Map. And in this book, she studied 8 aspects on how we are communicating, how we are trusting, how we are evaluating, how are we leading, how are we scheduling, how are we persuading. All are these things that she studied. And what she saw actually is that depending on the country that we are coming from, we are different. And we have different styles. And I will give you my story. I will share with you a personal story that happened here. So I'm from Romania. And I moved here in Spain 6 years ago. Not in all the companies, but in the past companies where I worked in Spain, I had different colleagues that were coming to me to say, giving me feedback, in well-intended feedback, that, well, Lidia, you have a strong personality. You speak up a lot. You are loud. And when I was receiving this kind of feedback, I didn't know what to do with this. I was like, is it this bad? Is this good? Should I change something? I did something wrong? No, you have a strong personality. And it made me wonder. I thought I'm doing something wrong, or maybe I should change something. Until I made this exercise, the cultural map. And this is like a survey that you can answer some questions. And what it gives you your map and gives you an idea on how you are communicating, persuading, evaluating, trusting, leading. And what I saw in this exercise, because you put there the comparison with the country that you are comparing yourself, that there is a big difference between how the average in Spain is and how I myself. Because in communicating, I have a direct communicating style. And in the leading style, I am an egalitarian. So there was a big difference between how is the average in Spain that has more indirect communication and a lot more hierarchy. Like the difference was very, very big. And actually this exercise finally gave me the answer. This is why people tell me that I'm different. But does this make me, again, bad or good? No, this just makes me different. And when you are aware of this difference, you can take advantage of my difference. And the difference is between all of us in the team, because when you are making this exercise with the team, it's going to give you like the way to just make the comparison and realize that there is a gap. And with this kind of gap, you will have a tool to just know how to communicate and collaborate with the others. Because in the end, when we are unique, right? We have our differences. And in the moment that I feel comfortable with the way I am, and it's the moment, and each of us is going to feel comfortable with the way that they are, it's going to make the team be very strong. Everybody can bring their most value, and the team actually simply has a lot of power to create amazing products. As I was saying, I'm very passionate about this exercise. The second one that I recommend is the team agreements. I don't know if you have this in your team, but for us, and for me, it's a very important exercise because, like I was saying, it's putting the context on how we work together. We want to have our dailies asynchronous, where we just do it on Slack. This is how we agree, and we do it between us. And this is the way that we are going to communicate in our team. And it's for our team. It can be that it's different from other team. This is okay, because this is good for us. This is helping us to have a good communication and be able to collaborate and feel safe. The third thing that I have here in my presentation is the asynchronous work. I think that we don't take advantage of the fact that we work remotely. I mean, we work remotely and we stay all day in meetings. Is this really helpful? I really don't think so. And the idea is that we have the possibility to work a lot more asynchronously. Means that let's say, together with the team, that certain tasks that they are possible to be worked asynchronous, to put the agreement on how we work it. This means that, for example, for a certain task to review, let's say a document, we say, okay, I'm going to review this document and I'm going to make it asynchronously. And why is this going to help? Because if you put people together in a meeting room, it could be that I'm not inspired in that moment. And I'm inspired at another moment. And I take advantage of when I'm inspired, when I have to work this work and actually bring my most value and make the work good. That's why it's important when we are deciding to work asynchronously a lot more, to have some agreements on how we want to do it, by when, and which are the tools that we are going to use. And it will, like I was saying, it's going to give us the opportunity to feel, to work a lot more, sorry, I got lost in the words. The idea is to feel inspired. This was the word that I was looking for. To feel a lot more inspired. The fourth thing that I have here in my presentation is the quality time spent together. And this is an exercise that is very local. Because here in Spain, we are evaluating people based on the relationships that we have. Compared, for example, with the USA or with the Netherlands or with Canada. In Canada and in these other countries, they are evaluating people based on the task they performed, independent on the relationship that they have. But here in Spain, it's different. And this means that in the moment that I'm going to colleague, if they are performing the same task, but if I have a better relationship with one than the other, I'm going to evaluate this better. And this is not only Spain, in Romania, it's exactly the same. I mean that this cultural difference is affecting us in the way that we work. And it's important here in Spain, actually, to spend this quality time together, even now here when we work remotely, to dedicate and find spaces and agree with the team spaces, quality spaces, where we are going to talk about personal things, to feel safe, to build this relationship that is going to help in the end the way that we are collaborating and communicating inside the team. And the very last exercise that I am here to recommend is all about feedback. Like I was saying, we don't know how to give feedback. But we have now the tools, and we are aware of these tools, and they are handy. We have to read some book. We can look into some framework that is giving us information on how to give feedback. Like you give a situation, then you put the behavior that the person has in the impact, and this is constructive and effective feedback. And this is the kind of tool that is going to help us. And one very important thing that I have to say is that we have to take into consideration when giving feedback to ask the person if it's open to receive the feedback. I think this is the very first step that we have to take into consideration. Could be that the other person is not emotionally prepared to receive that feedback. And it's fair to ask, I would like to provide you some feedback. Are you open to it? If the person says yes, you can find the tools to give this. And with this exercise, inside the team where you agree, look, we have this framework that we could use to give feedback, and let's start to give feedback. Like, for example, the team agreements could be one of the exercises where you give feedback. I don't agree with this. I would like to make it in another way. And this kind of thing, it's going to give us the habit to give feedback. And in the end, this is going to help the team to grow and understand and perform better and feel safe and have a lot of trust. And all of this in the end is going to make the whole team build amazing products that our customers need. And with this, I'm going to go to my last question. And this is, how do we learn as product people? And here, my recommendation is to read, write, teach, and repeat. What do I mean by that? Is that, for example, this talk that I gave here today, a lot of insights and exercises are from the books that I read in the past year. And when I read these books, I had a lot of moments that I was, oh, that's super interesting. Yes, I agree. This is how I actually do it, but I didn't know that it's called that way. So I took with me the key learnings, and actually I started to write some Medium posts. And then after writing this Medium post, it gave me also the opportunity to teach this information to the colleagues in my team or in the product community, even here today with you. So when we are doing this cycle of reading, writing, and teaching to the others, what is going to make us is to learn a lot of much information than if we just read. When we read, actually, we learn 10% of the things that we read. When we write, the percentage gets bigger. But when we teach to the others, it's actually when the knowledge is, we are able to understand a lot more than in the moment that we are reading. And these are the books. And all of these books, well, except the last one, are not about product. They are about, as I was saying, how to build amazing teams, how to be a giver and give more than you receive, how to not play a finite game, that always thinking that you have to win something, to be in an infinite game where you just want to grow and be better until you are not here anymore. So this is the idea, not to feel like you are in a competition with the others, because this is not going to help. You put yourself to a limit, and the idea is that we can go more above that. And with that being said, I would like to close my talk and to say that be patient and consistent. The change will come along. Thank you very much.
La segunda charla de hoy la van a dar Mey y Stivali. Ellas dos vienen de Adevinta, que es el host. Así que un aplauso y, bueno, muchísimas gracias.
Hola, ¿se me oye? Vale, es que es la primera vez que uso un cacharrito de estos. ¿Sí? Vale. Hola, yo soy Mey-Ling. Bueno, hace 7 años que empecé en el mundo de la programación. Antes era pastelera, cambié radicalmente de pasteles a código. Y bueno, después de unos años probando diferentes cosas desde maquetación, frontend, DevOps, también estuve full stack, me he quedado de momento porque seguro que luego volverá a cambiar a cualquier otra cosa, pero ahora estoy como backend aquí en Adevinta con Stivali en mi equipo.
Sí, ¿qué tal? Yo soy Stivali. Bueno, primero quería comentar que estuvo increíble tu charla, Lidia. Dejaste el listón bastante alto.
Sí, la verdad.
¿Se me escucha, no? Sí. Vale, y yo soy Stivali, soy de Venezuela, pero hace casi 6 años que me mudé a Barcelona. Apenas llegué, hice un bootcamp y pues ahora, hoy en día, trabajo también en Adevinta como Frontend Developer, específicamente en Milanuncios. Específicamente en Milanuncios, junto a Mey, así fue como nos conocimos. Y antes de comenzar, quería comentar que tienen el código QR, por si quieren ir chequeando las slides, le pueden hacer una foto. Y también están nuestras redes sociales, por si quieren saber un poco más de lo que hacemos, o si quieren conversar un rato, conocernos, pues lo tienen disponible. Ahora sí, podemos comenzar. Y pues hoy Mey y yo decidimos unirnos porque justamente hace poco nuestro equipo tuvo la importantísima tarea de migrar uno de nuestros proveedores de servicios de pago. Y pues pensamos que esta era la oportunidad perfecta, no solo para contar cómo ha sido nuestra experiencia o los desafíos que se nos presentaron, sino para explicar un poco cuál fue la estrategia que utilizamos para hacer esta migración 100% retrocompatible. De allí viene el título. Sabemos que una migración de este tipo puede sonar aterradora en un principio por la cantidad de cambios que supone no solo a nivel técnico, sino también para el usuario. Pero en nuestro caso, empezamos a necesitar nuevos features y métodos de pago, mejor rendimiento, más capacidad de procesamiento para gestionar una mayor cantidad pues de transacciones. Así que tras ver un poco los pros y los contras, pues vimos que la mejor solución era definitivamente cambiar el proveedor. Y tras empezar a investigar un poco el API de este nuevo proveedor, identificamos un par de retos, ya que esto no solamente implicaba migrar la pasarela de pagos, sino que el nuevo proveedor requería un nuevo flujo para verificar la identidad de los vendedores y además no permitía hacer transferencias entre cuentas bancarias, como lo solíamos hacer con el antiguo proveedor, sino que se necesitaba hacer una transferencia intermedia entre e-wallets o monederos digitales. Y pues con esto en mente, estos dos retos, empezamos con el primer paso, que fue implementar el KYC, el flujo de KYC, por sus siglas en inglés, que significa Know Your Customer o conoce a tu cliente. Esto se hace con el fin de verificar que el cliente es quien dice ser para evitar fraudes y transacciones online. Entonces, teniendo en consideración que debíamos pedir nueva información del vendedor, desarrollamos un set de APIs sobre un nuevo microservicio. Bueno, esta parte la desarrolló el backend. Y también creamos un nuevo flujo de usuario, tanto en la web como en las apps. En este nuevo flujo, pues, como mencioné, pedíamos información adicional del vendedor, como la nacionalidad, del país de residencia, algunos datos bancarios, tipo dirección fiscal, el IBAN. Y por último, necesitaban hacer una foto de su documento de identidad, por ambas caras. Así es un poco como se ve el flujo real en la plataforma. Y realmente este flujo diría que fue el menos delicado porque no involucraba tocar código existente, así que no había forma de tumbar producción. Ese fue un punto importante. Así que esta primera iteración se abrió progresivamente a los usuarios a través de un feature flag que se añadió del lado de los clientes. Y pues esto permitió a los usuarios irse verificando desde el apartado de su cuenta. Esto con el fin de ir validando pues la implementación antes de cambiar el proceso de pago. Entonces, con esto, nosotros pudimos identificar mejoras y bug fixes antes de cambiar todo el flujo completo. Probablemente, si hubiésemos hecho el release o lo hubiésemos liberado todo en conjunto, bueno, nos hubiésemos saturado con la cantidad de bug reports y probablemente el tiempo de respuesta ante esas incidencias hubiese sido mucho más lento.
Vale, ahora la hora de pagar. Una vez hemos hecho la primera parte del KYC que ha comentado Stivali, dijimos, vale, ahora toca que los usuarios puedan pagar por la nueva plataforma. Vale, esto como equipo decidimos que no podía suponer ningún breaking change, que el despliegue tenía que ser forma gradual, igual que lo hicimos con el KYC. Así que empezamos a hacer muchos refinements y a pensar como equipo, ¿no? Como clientes y como backends. ¿Cómo podemos hacer esto para que no rompa nada de lo que tenemos? Primero, el endpoint de llamada de pago. Teníamos un endpoint que se estaba utilizando, evidentemente, desde las aplicaciones y desde la web, y este endpoint no podía cambiar, porque si lo cambiábamos, todas las aplicaciones anteriores podrían fallar. Así que decidimos, vale, pues no tocamos el endpoint. Se mantendrá exactamente igual. Hemos destacado que el payment link es exactamente lo que el cliente necesita para saber dónde tiene que pagar el usuario. Entonces, una vez decidimos no tocar esto, dijimos, venga, vamos al siguiente paso, ¿no? Y aquí se ve el flujo que teníamos. Es muy diagrama, porque, bueno, a mí me gustan estos dibujitos, pero si no se entiende algo, podéis preguntar, ¿eh? El cliente es el que hace la petición al microservicio. Nuestro microservicio, en este caso, era un microservicio que tenía bastantes cosas, o sea, era un micro-macroservicio, donde este envía un evento que luego es consumido por el mismo microservicio para realizar el caso de uso, que será el encargado de pedir al proveedor este link de pago. El proveedor nos devuelve el link de pago, lo guardamos y lo enviamos al cliente para cuando nos lo consulta. Aquí era el flujo que teníamos antes. Y entonces dijimos, vale, tenemos que añadir el flujo nuevo. Así que aprovechamos que este microservicio era muy grande para separarlo. Aprovechamos la oportunidad y hicimos un split. Sacamos la parte de los pagos en un nuevo microservicio, que es el que está arriba, el microservicio 2, por si digo microservicio 2, para que nos situemos, que es el nuevo. Y microservicio 1 es exactamente igual. Como podéis ver, la parte de abajo del diagrama es el mismo diagrama, porque así no rompíamos nada de lo que ya estaba pasando. Cada vez que se llamaba al cliente, O sea, que el cliente llamaba al endpoint que hemos visto antes, el microservicio, perdón, enviaba el evento que él consumía y bla, 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 lo que contaba antes. Pues este evento que se envía también se consume desde el nuevo microservicio. El microservicio consume el evento, el nuevo, hace sus procesos de guardar la base de datos y lo que tenga que hacer y le pregunta al nuevo proveedor, oye, dame mi link de pago. El proveedor lo devuelve y aquí el link de pago para que del microservicio 2 al microservicio 1 tenga esta información, se devuelve mediante eventos. Siempre nos comunicamos mediante eventos entre los microservicios. Y el microservicio 1 tiene esta información, por lo tanto, puede devolverla al cliente, como estaba haciendo en el flujo anterior. Y ahora os preguntaréis, vale, ¿y cómo sabe, no? ¿Qué proveedor tiene que devolver, no? Porque ahora mismo podemos devolver del proveedor 1 o del proveedor 2. Aquí es cuando entran en juego los feature flags. Dentro de cada microservicio, antes de hacer la llamada al proveedor, mirábamos el feature flag. ¿Que el usuario tiene el feature flag activado? Pues entonces el microservicio 2 hace la llamada al proveedor 2 y el microservicio 1, como está el feature flag activado, no hará la llamada. Si fuese al revés, pues el microservicio 2 no haría la llamada y el microservicio 1 sí que haría la llamada. De esta manera, siempre habría un link de pago que es el que ha seguido el camino. Los feature flags creemos que era una cosa que le dedicamos mucho cariño, así que está otra vez aquí un poco más explicado, porque al haber dos personas que están utilizando el servicio, el vendedor, como ha comentado antes Stivali, el nuevo proveedor cobran por un monedero digital, o sea que no cobran directamente en la cuenta bancaria, pero el antiguo proveedor sí que cobra directamente en la nueva, o sea, en la cuenta bancaria. Para que al usuario vendedor no le supusiera un lío, ¿no? De, uy, ahora cobro por la cuenta bancaria, ahora cobro por el monedero. Pues decidimos que el feature flag siempre se miraría por el vendedor, nunca por el comprador. Entonces, cuando el feature flag por el vendedor está activo, entonces es cuando se mira. El comprador le puede aparecer el link nuevo o le puede aparecer el link antiguo. Aquí tampoco es mucho lío, al final les ponen la tarjeta, pero no era tan lioso. Ahora, el vendedor es el que manda en el link de pago. Una vez tenemos este link de pago, el comprador pone todos sus datos y, como podemos ver aquí, bueno, no sé si se entiende, pero como ahora lo explicaré, se entenderá. El comprador le daba a comprar y el proveedor antiguo lo que hacía era que nos devolvía un callback. Este callback nos devolvía, perdón, dos callbacks. Un callback conforme ha ido bien y uno conforme ha ido mal. Entonces nosotros sabíamos, pues si ha ido bien, va a la página de que ha ido bien y si ha ido mal, pues irá a la página de que ha ido mal. El nuevo proveedor no nos hace esto, no nos facilita el si ha ido bien o ha ido mal de primera instancia. El nuevo proveedor lo que hace es cuando el usuario le da a pagar, nos devuelve una página sin saber el resultado del pago. Así que nosotros decidimos hacer una página nueva que estaría esperando a que el backend tuviera la información de si este pago ha ido bien o no ha ido bien. El backend se entera de esta información mediante un webhook que va por el proveedor nuevo. Cuando el pago ha ido bien, le informa al backend y backend lo guarda en la base de datos y le informa al cliente, oye, esto está bien. Entonces, cliente va al mismo link de OK que iba antes cuando estaba en el proveedor antiguo. Y cuando ha ido mal, pues lo mismo, pero al de cao de cuando estaba en el otro proveedor. Y ahora, hora de cobrar.
Vale, sí. Hasta ahora habíamos hablado del comprador y cómo hace el pago, aunque me hizo algo de spoiler. Y es que ahora para que el vendedor pues reciba sus fondos, ¿cómo determinamos esto, no? Y es que como May había explicado, siempre miramos a un lado de la transacción. En este caso, siempre chequeamos de antemano que el vendedor tenga el feature flag activado. De esta forma, si el comprador comienza la operación con el antiguo proveedor, pues el vendedor recibirá estos fondos directamente a su cuenta bancaria. Y si es por el nuevo proveedor, será una transferencia intermedia, que era lo que comentaba antes, entre los monederos digitales, donde se mantienen los fondos de ambas partes hasta que se completa la transacción y luego el vendedor puede hacer la transferencia desde su monedero digital hasta la cuenta bancaria. Entonces, con todos estos problemas de retrocompatibilidad ya solucionados, tuvimos tiempo para enfocarnos en añadir nuevas características y mejoras para la experiencia del usuario. Esto incluía desde cambios de copies y estilos hasta crear nuevos flujos, como lo es el retirar el dinero del monedero, que es el flujo que ven en pantalla y es lo que está actualmente en producción. Vale, y finalmente, cuando hicimos el rollout en producción, abrimos el feature flag primero a una audiencia que básicamente creamos con los usuarios de nuestro equipo, y con esto pudimos hacer un QA más exhaustivo donde pudimos evaluar la correcta integración entre los componentes, la estabilidad del sistema, hicimos algunas proyecciones de, bueno, capacidad de carga y uso, e importante también, probamos las versiones antiguas de las apps para asegurarnos pues de que los flujos funcionando como esperábamos. Luego de esto, fuimos abriendo progresivamente a un porcentaje de usuarios reales para ir también monitorizando los pagos. Esto ya con tooling y bueno, nuestros dashboards que teníamos desde antes para tener mayor visibilidad, hasta llegar a la totalidad de los usuarios, es decir, el 100%. Esto fue ya hace un par de meses que lo hicimos y el rollout fue súper smooth. Así que bueno, fue como esperábamos, por decir así.
Bueno, y aquí, como equipo, ¿no?, que nos llevamos después de toda esta migración, queremos compartir, ¿no?, los puntos así más importantes que vimos. Entre ellos, comienza siempre agregando código nuevo, es decir, si algo está funcionando y encima lo vamos a deprecar, ¿para qué vamos a modificar algo que realmente o sea, no está bien o lo vamos a borrar? Pues agregamos funcionalidades nuevas que van a estar bien y así no estropeamos las versiones anteriores, porque las aplicaciones anteriores van a ir por el código antiguo y así no podemos romper nada que haya existente. Usar los feature flags, esto realmente es lo que nos ha dado tranquilidad y seguridad a la hora de ir desplegando todo y vamos, bueno, al final cada semana, ¿no? Venga, ahora vamos a subir un 5% y estábamos como mirando las métricas, que ese es el punto que luego viene, y realmente estábamos tranquilos porque realmente íbamos probando y íbamos sabiendo que el código que estaba subiendo estaba desplegar cuanto antes a producción, pequeñas iteraciones. Bueno, nosotros usamos mucho esto de pequeñas iteraciones y sobre todo, por ejemplo, lo del KYC, ¿no?, que primero desarrollamos la primera parte para que así la siguiente parte no se quedara bloqueada. O sea, siempre intentar desplegar todo lo que se pueda productivo, quitárnoslo de encima y ya que esté en producción. Y si hay algún error, aparecerá cuanto antes, así que lo podremos arreglar también cuanto antes. Invertir en la monitorización, que esto va muy de la mano con lo de las feature flags, porque cuando subías el 5%, pues mirabas, ¿no? A ver, ¿cómo se nota aquí cuánta gente ha entrado por aquí? Uy, no hay métricas. Eso quiere decir que realmente los feature flags no están funcionando. O ha pasado algo, todo está fallando. Bueno, solo es un 5%, pero lo hemos visto gracias a las métricas. Planificación de las tareas. Bueno, nosotros como equipo realmente le dedicamos mucho tiempo. Hicimos un sprint posiblemente entero de refinements, pero gracias a esto hemos hecho esta migración en tiempo récord porque no nos hemos encontrado ni un solo bloqueo, porque o sea, dedicamos el tiempo necesario a planificar todo lo que había que hacer. Y por último, la documentación. Al final, la documentación siempre es importante, ¿no? Porque si alguien se ha ido de vacaciones, cuando vuelva lo tiene ahí documentado, o sea, se va a acordar al momento. Y bueno, después de haberlo conseguido, estar tranquilos porque tenemos todo en producción y funciona súper bien, ahora tenemos que hacer pues mejoras, ¿no? Cosas para aportar valor al usuario. Entonces, ahora lo que estamos trabajando es en los pagos nativos para que el usuario pueda pagar mucho más rápido, un historial de movimientos del monedero para que así pueda ver, pues bueno, al final son valores, ¿no?, para el vendedor o el comprador, y los métodos de pago adicionales para que así no solo puedan pagar con tarjeta, que puedan pagar con otras cosas. Y hasta aquí nuestra presentación. Bueno, tenéis, como ya hemos comentado, tenéis ahí nuestra información. Y si tenéis alguna duda o lo que sea, pues...
Just in time for the pizzas.
Sí.
¿Alguna pregunta? ¿No? ¿Sí?
Cachis en la mar.
Perfecto.
Por la charla que habéis explicado, he notado que tenéis un alto grado de decisión. Entonces, pensando en la charla de antes, he pensado, ¿y el Product Owner? Es decir,
Pues no está presente hoy.
No está presente, pero el Product Owner realmente como equipo, o sea, está dentro del equipo y ha sido el que nos ha ayudado y evidentemente es que no habría salido adelante si no hubiésemos tenido al Product Owner. Él era el que se encargaba de informarse, ¿no? Al principio, a ver, ¿qué tenemos que hacer esto? Vale. Y estaba en todos los refinements, estaba en todo, o sea, realmente,
Y está feliz con los resultados.
sí, la verdad, muy feliz. Sí, sí. O sea, estaba en el equipo, o sea, es uno más del equipo al final, no es un ente que está en otro lado. Sí. Y no sé si hay más preguntas.
Vale, pues muchas gracias.